out of most people you guys know, I'm one of the few people who really know how to start a cult. Okay, I mean, I'm not even kidding with you. I mean, I don't do that because you got to be a psycho to start a cult. I'm not kidding with you. Like, we're gonna go over how to do it, but you legit have to be crazy. I mean, and the reason why you have to be crazy is because of this. You're gonna, well, you gotta understand. Before we even begin this, there are two types of cults. There is a normal cult, and then there's something called a destructive cult. Understand that the word cult is short from culture. Culture. Every friend circle is a cult. Every clique is a cult. Don't you notice? Even tribes are cults, right? They have the cult structure. Your friends believe a certain thing, and if you have a trait that your friends don't like, you either change it or they ostracize you. Everything is a cult. Football teams, notice it, they wear the same shit, they have same vernacular, they follow one person. It's a cult, right? If you know how to create a culture, if you know how to build teams, if you know how to build culture, you pretty know how to build a cult, all right? The difference is that when you have a destructive cult, where they isolate you from your family, where they isolate you if you stop talking to them, where they break down your self-esteem, where the leader has unquestioned authority, where they physically abuse you, right? These are the destructive cults. The good cults are like schools, colleges. Think about it. It's like even colleges have a mascot, have a mission statement. Those are good cults. Humans need to be in cults. The problem is that some of us get into destructive cults. I was part of a cult when I was younger. I was part of the church, a Pentecostal church. Now, it wasn't destructive. I wasn't molested, you know. They were beautiful. They were great people. I got lucky. But some people go to churches where they get molested, right? So we're gonna talk about this subject is so cool. So watch this. I'm gonna offer the first part for free, and then the other part is gonna be on my Patreon. And I have a Robert Greene book club where I break down these types of videos. So go check it out. But I am so excited about this chapter. This is actually one of my favorite subjects: the creation of cults. Ladies and gentlemen, never trust Father Alex. Never, ever, ever fully trust me. Sorry, oh, my fault. Oh, man. It's like my dark side just comes up. So we're going to listen to the audiobook, and I'm going to chime in and give my take on the audiobook, okay? All right, let's begin this.
Law 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. Judgment. People have an overwhelming desire to believe in something. Become the focal point of such desire by offering them a cause, a new faith to follow. Keep your words vague but full of promise. Emphasize enthusiasm over rationality.
An example is this, right? I don't know what your politics are, right? But every single person has a need to believe in something. That's why people join political groups. That's why you have a lot of these people who don't give a fuck about a subject until everybody's following it, and then they want to follow it, and then they want to act like they care, and then they start virtue signaling, right? For example, a perfect example, and you don't have to agree with this, but it's just an example. People still think that black people are oppressed in the United States. Like that's fucking crazy, right? It's one second. It's ridiculous to even assume that black people are suffering in the United States. I mean, anyways, so what they do is that they talk about bring justice. Okay, what kind of justice? All the laws are there to help you guys. No more racism. Okay, but can you be specific? Be specific. What are you talking about? Like, what is it? Like, is it like I don't get what is it, right? These are things that if people don't have a sense of purpose, if people don't have a purpose in life, they're gonna follow random political movements that they don't really care about. They're only doing it because it's cool, right? Why? Because people have a need to believe. And you see a lot of those people getting into those kinds of cults. And understand, people who are in cults don't know they're in a cult. Okay?
And clear thinking. A new faith to follow. Keep your words vague but full of promise.
For example, Vague and full of promise. I will teach you how to be financially independent. What does that mean? What are you talking about financially independent? I will teach you how to unleash your mind and free your mind. Okay, what the fuck does that mean? What do you mean? What do you mean free my mind? Can you be specific? Because if they give you a specific thing, then you have something to measure the success. But when they keep it vague, right? When they keep it vague, and racism, right? When they keep it vague, what the fuck do you mean? The goalpost can continually be moved, right? But let's keep watching. This is very interesting.
Emphasize enthusiasm over rationality and clear thinking.
And that's a big one. When they emphasize enthusiasm over rationality. I tell you guys on my channel, don't believe everything that I say. Question the things that I say. And I always say I could be wrong in some things, right? But what cults do is that they make sure that you don't even question the authority.
Give your new disciples rituals to perform. Ask them to make sacrifices.
A ritual to perform. Rituals to perform. The reason why you give people rituals is to keep them together mentally, right? So you say, like, for example, with Islam, they got to pray 6 times a day. Those are rituals, right? And when they do that, they actually feel united with all of the other Muslims around the world. Christians are told to tithe, to give to the Lord, pray every day, read the Bible. Those are rituals, right? So if you have an organization, one of the rituals you can have people perform could be, for example, meditating every morning. If you want to be part of this organization, you got to meditate 5 minutes a day in the morning and at night. When you give them those rituals, it makes them more faithful to you, and it brings them together. I'm telling you, rituals do that. And that's why church is such a big thing, because church is a ritual. It's literally a ritual. Humans need rituals in life. Rituals are literally routines, right? And so by giving them a ritual, it could be anything. It could be when you pass the church, you go like that, right? It could be that before you leave, you ask you be like with martial arts gym. Before you leave, you bow to the Buddha, right? Or you say yes, master, all that kind of stuff, right? Those ritual reinforce. What does it do? It reinforces the authority of the leader, because it brings them together, right? Yeah, let's keep listening.
Give your new disciples rituals to perform. Ask them to make sacrifices.
Make sacrifices, that's a big one, right? If you want to start a cult, you got to make sure, you got to understand when I say cult, I mean destructive cult and normal culture. If you want to build a team together, right? So it could be sacrifices. What's it? The more they sacrifice for you, the better. So it could be that before you are a part of this group, you have to meditate for 10 hours this month. Or before you're part of this group, you have to do something for charity for a few weeks. Or even like with what do you call it, with frat houses, frat houses, what is it? Not burn you. You got to go through initiation ritual where they fuck with you. They pretty much treat you like they're a bitch and all that kind of stuff. You have that in teams, right? Where they haze the new teammate. They make them carry the bags. They make them get shit from the groceries for them. Those sacrifices are essential. In fact, if you don't make them do a sacrifice, if you don't make them do something that they kind of don't want to do, but they're doing it because they like you, the loyalty of the group is not going to be as much. As cruel as it is, they have to sacrifice something. Something has to be sacrificed in the altar for them to feel like they're part of the group. It's just a human psychology thing. It is cruel, but if you want the best effect, they have to sacrifice something. They have to sacrifice something. For Christianity, it's denouncing your old life. For some martial arts, it's pretty much devoting your whole life to a certain martial arts, like wrestling and all that kind of stuff. With the army, they pretty much sacrifice themselves. They sacrifice their normal life for the good of the country, right? And also army, you got an initiation ritual where a lot of them go through boot camp, and they suffer together, and that suffering together brings them together, right? And the harder it is to join, the better, right? And so that's the key of why you require sacrifice. It's not just to be mean, but because when you demand sacrifice from people, it makes them more faithful to you, you know?
Is on your behalf. In the absence of organized religion and grand causes, your new belief system will bring you untold power.
As you can see, even today, right? People who, the old cults used to be Christianity in the United States. People rebelled against Christianity and became more liberal. Then you have the hipsters, right? And the hipsters are anti-Christianity. And those are the liberals today. Where they don't believe anything Christianity, they believe in abortion. I don't care about any of those issues, to be honest with you. But the point is that liberalism became their substitute for Christianity, right? They may say that they might say that Christians believe in spirits, but also liberals believe in identities. So a man could just say, I'm a woman, and you're a woman. That magic shit, that magical shit is their religion, right? I mean, I'm being serious. It's kind of like if I identify as a woman now, so it's best to treat me as a woman. And I will treat you as a woman. I'm like, look, bro, as long as the government doesn't enforce this, and it's something that between me and you, I'll call you whatever the fuck you want me to call you, man. That's pretty much my limit, you know. So it's kind of like it becomes their religion. You know, like that's their religion. It's irrational to assume that a man can become a woman, but you know what? It's okay. It's their belief. They've replaced Christianity with liberalism, and that's okay. But that's the thing, is that a belief is gonna have to go somewhere. If it's not in religion, it's maybe in fucking Jehovah's Witnesses. Maybe it's you become obsessed with a sport, and the sport becomes your religion, right? But that's pretty much the whole point. Is that it has to go somewhere. So if you want to start a cult, it's very easy. We're gonna keep talking. I'm just giving you guys the general, the fundamentals of a cult. To be honest with you, we still haven't gotten in step by step. I've started, but it's very interesting. Let's keep listening. By the way, 70% of cult members are women. 70% of cult members are women. Women are more susceptible to cults. Men are not as much. One of the reasons is because the way our brains are designed, right? I don't know. I think my opinion, I could be wrong. So it's because men are more rational, right? Women believe in more spiritual things. They believe in more mystic things. Men are more rational about it, which has a negative effect because women are more able to connect with people. If you're a woman, the benefit of that is that your child will love you more, because you treat your child better, not better, but you know, like it's just, when I say that, you guys have to be careful with assuming that I'm talking in general terms and that it's a negative thing when I say that men are more rational. It's not just a positive thing. There's actually some negatives behind it, right? Because, like an example, if you're a woman, the benefits of being a woman a lot of times is that if you're a parent, your child is gonna love you more. And the dad is gonna feel envious of the fact that your child loves you more. And that really hurts, that really hits deeply. You know what I'm saying? So every sex has its positives and negatives.
Science of bring you untold power. The science of charlatanism, or how to create a cult in 5 easy steps. In searching, as you must, for the methods that will gain you the most power for the least effort, you will find the creation of a cult-like following one of the most effective. Having a large following opens up all sorts of possibilities for deception. Not only will your followers worship you, they will defend you from your enemies and will voluntarily take on the work of enticing others to join your fledgling cult.
An example is the Beehive, right? The toxic ass cult of the Beehive. I think the Beehive is a toxic cult. I mean, and obviously, who's the leader? Beyonce. Now, mind you, Beyonce never really talks about it. I think Beyonce secretly likes the power that she wields over that group. I think she acts like she's ignorant about it, but I think she really knows what's going on. But anyways, but that's an example of a cult, right? And the beauty about it is that if you create this effect, like he said, people will begin to recruit for you. And that's the power of it. And they'll defend you. You know what I'm saying?
This kind of power will lift you to another realm. You will no longer have to struggle or use subterfuge to enforce your will. You are adored and can do no wrong. You might think it's a gargantuan task.
And that's the thing, is that you could do no wrong. You got to be careful with that. Because when you develop a cult-like following, your followers will make you think you could do no wrong. And that will be the beginning of your fall. When you think you could do no wrong. You stop thinking rationally. You got to be careful when you get to that point, you know? When you have so much power that people think you do no wrong. I mean, I'm serious. Like, you got to be careful with that. Because if you get to that point, you'll think that everything you say is gold. Right? And you will lose touch with reality, and you don't want that, because when you lose touch with reality, nothing goes right. Nothing goes right. You misinterpret people, and people will begin to resent you, and the same people who lifted you up will be the same ones that pull you down.
To create such a following, but in fact, it is fairly simple. As humans, we have a desperate need to believe in something. Anything. This makes us eminently gullible. We simply cannot endure long periods of doubt or of the emptiness that comes from a lack of something to believe in. Dangle in front of us some new cause, elixir, get-rich-quick scheme, or the latest technological trend or art movement, and we leap from the water as one to take the bait. Look at history. The chronicles of the new trends in cults that have made a mass following for themselves could fill a library. After a few centuries, a few decades, a few years, a few months, they generally look ridiculous. But at the time, they seem so attractive, so transcendental, so divine.
An example is the Manson family. We look at it now. You gotta understand something about a cult, is that they don't know. You don't notice how crazy your beliefs are when you're part of a cult. An example is this. Look, I remember when I was in college, I thought everybody smoked weed. Until I left college and I realized it was only us. When you're part of a cult, you think a lot of people think the way you think. You think you're normal when you're part of a cult. You know, like that. That's a crazy thing. And one of the biggest one is a Manson family. Where I could promise you, as crazy as it looks, seeing one dude with 23 women, as crazy as it looks, inside of that group, it felt normal. It felt like just an everyday occurrence, right? And the reason why that is because you're trapped in the group think. Everyone is thinking the same because it emanates from the group, and any doubt is suppressed and socially attacked, right? They pretty much attack you in a way. And so they pressure you to think a certain way, you know?
Always in a rush to believe in something, we will manufacture saints and faiths out of nothing. Do not let this gullibility go to waste. Make yourself the object of worship. Make people form a cult around you. The great European charlatans of the 16th and 17th centuries mastered the art of cult making. They lived, as we do now, in a time of transformation, organized religion.
And it's not hard to start a cult. That's the crazy part. It just takes guts and balls to do it. In a certain sense, in coldness. And when I say cult right now, in this occasion, I'm talking about destructive cult. But like I said, if you're part of an organization, for example, one of the steps that he talks about is have an enemy, right? Have an enemy and call and give a name to your followers. So what's the enemy of mindful attraction? Nice people, right? Angel people, society who's always trying to pull you down, right? And I give you guys a name: toxic gang members, Alexians. Even Alexians sounds like a cult, right? And when you do that, if somebody's talking shit about Father Alex, you see that even the nickname Father Alex, right? you guys could go to the comment section of that video and say, hey, where my toxic members at? And everybody will like it, they'll comment, and they'll feel like they're at war and surrounded by enemies, right? When they attack me, it feels like they're attacking you, right? That's not a destructive cult, because I'm not labeling myself as God, but you'll be surprised how easy it is to get to that point. The issue is that you have to be willing that some people think you're crazy. That's the key. Is that you have to be okay with your family and friends thinking you're crazy. A small percentage of people will follow you, but a high percentage of people will see right through you and they'll know you're fucking bullshitting. But that's not what matters. What matters are the ones who follow you. Well, because those are the ones that give you power. The people who think you're crazy will only fuel your followers to give you more power. You know, it's kind of crazy how that works, man. You know what? We're gonna end it here. We're gonna finish it. Because it seems like it's gonna be a long one, because this is very interesting. We're gonna finish it. We're gonna do another video and upload it to the Patreon, but I'm gonna keep this one here. I'm so interested in this subject. I really want to post this one. I mean, I may just make a separate video, and not do it in this style, because I just find the subject just so fascinating. All right, man. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video, man. If you guys want me to make more videos like this, just let me know. I want you guys to join us, and if you guys, this is part of my book club on my Patreon. I pretty much break down Robert Greene's books like this, with the commentary and with the audiobook. So go check it out. On the description down below, you could join the book club for $20 a month. And for $5 more, you could have the book club, and you can ask one question per month where I make a video about it. All right, guys, be safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
All right, so if you guys enjoy that type of content, you could join the Robert Greene Book Club, and in general, my Patreon. When you read the Bible, people explain to you what the Bible says. And sometimes reading the Bible by yourself can be a little difficult to understand the concept. So the point of this Robert Greene Book Club is to help you decipher and how to apply Robert Greene's books into your life. So that means The Art of Seduction, 33 Strategies of War, The Laws of Human Nature, The 50th Law, and 48 Laws of Power. How to implement it in your life so that it's not just something abstract. But the Robert Greene Book Club starts at $5 a month. And as you can see here, it's full of Robert Greene videos, right? And these are also questions that people ask me. So not only do you get the Robert Greene videos for $5 a month or a gentrified cup of coffee a day, you also can get all the other videos, Robert Greene videos, and you guys can ask me questions with it, right? So I have like a 2 or 3 or 4 years worth of content, and usually most of the Robert Greene videos are over 30 minutes, and I complete all the chapters. And because I do love his videos, there's a lot of enthusiasm behind it, because it's just a lot of people learn from it, right? So this is how it works. This is a membership, because you guys can get a lot of benefits from it, right? So you got, for $1 a month, you get 1 free videos per month, right? $1 a month, 1 free video. For $5 a month, you get all of the Robert Greene videos, and you know, the book club videos and the Q&A questions that I get. With the Mindful Gang members, you also get the Robert Greene videos, and you get it in audio form, right? And I believe you can also ask me 1 question per month with this. So I gotta update it, but with this one, you guys can actually ask me a question, and I'll respond to you like I respond in most of my Pillow Talk Hour videos. So with this one, you could ask 2 questions. Right, 2 questions. And by the way, people, I gotta update this, but it's what I said. Okay, 2 questions per month, and the Robert Greene Book Club videos, and all of the Q&As. And then this way, you get a drawing of you. You get a pen drawing of you, and I'll send you the photo. Or if you guys want me to send it, you guys have to pay for that. But generally speaking, it's a great thing to have. If you guys. This is almost like my second channel. I have videos here that I don't have on YouTube. So get the opportunity and join the Robert Greene Book Club, because a lot of people say that Robert Greene's videos are great. The issue with his videos is that sometimes with his audiobooks or his books is that sometimes they sound abstract. You know what I'm saying? Like when they say something along the lines of, always say less is necessary. You know, how do you do that? You know, when do you say less is necessary? What about in an interview? Do you just say nothing? Are you going to be a mute? I teach you the nuance of his teachings in that course. Okay, so it's really exciting, because last week we talked about there was a Art of Seduction video about how to start, how to confuse reality and fantasy, and it really tells you, it explains to you why some people join cults. It was honestly the most mind-blowing video I've ever, the most mind-blowing Robert Greene book club video ever. Let me show you. I think it's this one. Let me show you right here, because it just blew my mind. So if you guys want to purchase it just for $5 a month, click in the description down below. And this was crazy. This one is insane, man. Insane. For $5 a month, click on the description down below, and I'll see you guys inside, man. And oh, you guys can also message me, and I respond a lot. Sometimes I don't, but I always read the messages. And yeah. And you guys can ask me what types of videos on Patreon you guys want me to make. So it's like a little cult community, people. Yeah, that's right, people. The Mindful Attraction Cult. Yeah, that's why I'm called Father Alex. Yeah, that's right, people. You just didn't know that. You didn't know you were in a cult. All right, man. I'll see you guys inside. Take care.